good morning. Thank you very much for having me. Yes, that information absolutely jives relative to other organizations for certain, but I will tell you that inside of Freddie Mac, we routinely survey our people. We take pulse surveys, and in many ways, the data is consistent from the perspective of our people are very, very encouraged by the actions we've taken during this time of the coronavirus. Furthermore, people are also very engaged and continue to work towards our mission of making home possible.
What's your sense of productivity from the home in this work from home, this new work from home life where some of us are at least trying to live?
Yeah, so remote work is fascinating from the perspective of literally overnight. We went from all being domiciled inside of four walls to having to work from home, simultaneous, I might add, with being work from home parents, homeschooling children. So Freddie Mac has taken any number of actions to ensure that our folks have what they need to be productive at home. For example, each of our employees have a stipend developed specifically to support their purchase of equipment needed to do their jobs. We'd recently migrated to Microsoft Teams, which has literally changed the game in terms of our effectiveness and being able to continue communicating on a regular basis. We've also done things like include or expanded leave options for our folks. So if an employee needs to take an hour or two out from the day to homeschool or tend to a home care issue, they can do that. We've also made it clear to anyone who either contracts the coronavirus or supports a family member who has that they have unlimited sick time that they can take. So we're trying to remove the friction associated with the virus in order to make sure our folks remain productive.
Hey, Jackie, on the other side of this pandemic, or whenever you think the world's going to go back to some semblance of normal, when are you going to open your offices? What is that process going to look like? Are you going to continue to own all of the real estate that you have currently, office space and such? Does it change to you fundamentally in the future or not?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I think the reality of the situation is on the spectrum. There's always a spectrum in terms of employees and how they're adapting to this evolving next normal. So on the one hand, you have individuals who from day one said, you know what, suit me up in a hazmat suit. I'm ready to come back to work. On the other end, you have employees who say, you know what, we've engaged in this global experiment of working remotely. It's worked well. Why do I ever have to come back to the office? Our challenge is to create a solution that falls somewhere in the middle, prioritizing the health and well-being of our people while simultaneously continuing to fulfill our mission of making home possible. So to your question, I think the workplace for Freddie Mac and every other organization is going to look drastically different. I think most individuals have to prepare for the reality of temperature checks, as an example. I think density is going to be something that's on the other end of the extreme, whereas before, maybe you're sitting in a cube 3 feet away from someone. Of course, we'll maintain the social distancing to ensure that that's no longer the case. Staggered entry to the workplace might be different. If you have a cafe, for example, you may have enjoyed an open salad bar. I think in the new world, we're all going to have to adjust to this contactless food service as an example. So we are experimenting with any number of ideas. We have an incredibly talented group of folks working on our crisis management team who are looking at many, many options to ensure that we, one, prioritize the health and well-being of our people while simultaneously fulfilling our mission of making home possible.